Or turn it back on.
What is that? New camera. This is unreal, dude.
Okay, that looks good.
Mate, I feel
fine.
so professional. New camera.
You got to stay in here.
Okay. New camera. Ring light.
mate.
New ring light. Table. You know. Chairs. Plants in the background. Laptop. And microphones, obviously.
We're a Jamie short of a pretty good pod.
Yeah, we're a stat man short.
A
We're a
stat.
DL Dave.
Well, our
short.
stats accurate.
Self-provided.
Yeah,
Yeah.
provided purely off speculation.
Purely 100% speculation, as we've always said. But, you know.
Things are on the up. Would you call it
I
season
reckon-
2? We're getting there.
Well, definitely season 2. And, you know, we've also hit 50 subscribers on YouTube, which is massive.
Well, they say your first 100 subs on YouTube is the hardest. So we're halfway
That's a
there.
fact. That is actually a known fact.
Yeah, 100%. That's not dribble. That's
No,
true.
that's actually true. Ask PewDiePie.
Did he say
David
that?
Dobrik. No, I don't know.
Someone's. I've heard that though.
I'm just that was dribble.
Okay.
Yeah, but that sounds like it's true, what you said. Pumped about that. I saw that the other day and I formed one singular tear. And then I watched it in the mirror roll down my cheek. Yeah, baby.
Marshall gets away. Marshall's still going. Marshall's got Richards coming up outside. Now inside.
All right. What's up, nerds? Welcome back to the Barflies podcast, episode 42 today. Good to be here. Good to be back. We've just unpacked our very professional studio. Call it season 2. Call it what you want. It's Wednesday afternoon. I'm up. I'm about. I'm joined always today by my good friend and comrade, Alexander Russell. How are you today, now that our phones are straight on the table?
Yeah, all good. No, I'm excellent. I was a bit bounced earlier this morning. Had my weekend on a Monday, Tuesday, and still had my actual weekend too. So I was a little bit, lethargic, you might say, this morning. Bit slow to start the day, but I've come good. I've had a Powerade. I've had a party-sized packet of Flaming Cheetos, and I feel revitalised.
Did you respond to my look of disapproval at being bounced on a Tuesday by describing your Monday, Tuesday as your weekend, while also claiming that you had an actual weekend?
Yeah.
So you had a 4-day weekend.
Pretty much, yeah. But it was a good time. But to be fair, had to go Monday, Tuesday, Europe. Everyone's going to Europe. Apparently it's a good holiday destination. That's what people are saying. Couple people heading over there, doing some goodbyes, doing the rounds. So said farewell to a few mates, Nathan and Gary.
Which Nathan?
Ferner.
Okay.
Yep, he's going over. Gonna have a good time.
Probably.
I hope so.
If I had to pencil in a lads trip to Europe, you could probably also...
You lock me in for a couple good times.
Well, you could draw up a Venn diagram and put good time on the other side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think they'd probably overlap.
Yeah. Or, you put good time in the middle if you're a Venn diagram expert.
True. Yeah, true. That's true.
Got a soft spot for the Venn diagram in my heart.
You do.
Yeah. I need it. Maybe I should start working them into the
Try and work them
the
in.
Barflies Instagram at some stage.
I think there's opportunities.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I would agree with that. If I want to do it, I can. No one's stopping me.
I'm not going to stop you. You can be head of Venn diagram and head of tech. On the
Well, I
podcast.
don't know if I can take all this responsibility.
Well, to be fair, you took us the responsibility of upgrading the tech of the setup, and it looks great. It looks fantastic.
Well, I had to take it into my own hands.
My retina is burning off with this light. I don't think I'm going to have eyeballs after this
Just
episode.
don't look at it.
I'm trying not to, but I'm like a mosquito or like a fly or a moth. I'm just drawn to the light. Okay, can't help it.
A barfly, you might say.
You might say that.
I'll do a lap. I politely asked Zander, I didn't even ask you. I said, hey, Zander, I found a ring light on Amazon. Something got stolen from my house last time. I ordered a package. Can I order it to your house? Zander goes, no, mate, don't worry. I'll do it.
I've got this.
So weird that thing was in transit for 3.5 weeks.
Yeah, 3. Let's say 3.
3 weeks.
Yeah, it was just shipping issues.
Yeah.
I got a refund, which was good.
That's
but-
lucky.
Yeah, it was lucky.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just shipping issues and just couldn't get it over.
Just logistical sort of.
Shipping logistics.
Ah,
Well, it's a
tough.
tough thing, mate. The ports are all getting mixed up and all that.
all backed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rogue waves have like pushing the ships into the ocean, knocking off containers.
Sure. Yeah.
That just by chance had our ring light in it.
Well, again, like you say, lucky you got a refund.
Yeah, and it's just bad luck. So I was happy just to take the refund.
Yeah,
but
that's
it's
a-
good that you ended up getting this on there.
Yeah. Well, I've been wheeling and dealing lately.
Oh, mate. After talking about wheeling and dealing last week.
Was that the name of the app? No, it was
No,
Hospinomics.
Hospinomics. It should have been wheeling and dealing. We said it about 1,000 times within 10
I forgot
minutes.
what happened on the app, to be honest. All I can remember is that we spoke deeply about. I mean, if you're going to talk that deeply about Hospinomics, you need to name the episode Hospinomics. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
Because it is.
I'm not questioning that decision.
Well, that's, a Venn diagram here provides,
The perfect analysis.
the perfect analysis of Hospinomics and wheeling and dealing.
Yeah.
Because they do go hand in hand.
Yeah. Hospitality, getting what I want, wheeling and dealing in the middle.
Nice.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, you've done well getting this ring light.
Yeah,
and
don't
all
worry
that.
about
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have given me such a big task. You know I would fail. You set me. You actually gaslighted me. You set me up to fail by giving me this task.
I didn't give it to you.
Yeah, you
said,
did.
"Nah, mate, I'll do it."
You pressured me into making this decision, and
I'm
now
gonna-
you're gaslighting me by telling me I didn't do a good job.
I'm gonna.
You knew it was too much for me to handle.
You sound like you're projecting.
No, that's not true.
Spending a fair bit of time on the back foot, mate. You all right?
Yeah, I'm not usually spending this much time on the back foot. I don't like it.
Oh, when
I'm.
the saints-
Oh God, jeez, you've used that against me. I feel very uncomfortable right now,
He's on the ropes.
mate. I'm not usually on the back foot. I'm strictly a front foot player.
Well, that's how you get out usually.
Yeah.
Is you resort to the
Best form of defense is attack.
St Kilda chant, also
St.
known
Augustine.
as the St George
And St George Illawarra.
and St Augustine.
yeah, Len Allen Owen.
Did you guys used to say, "Oh, when the Saints"?
Yeah. Yeah,
Suck squad.
yeah, baby.
That's so good. Did you actually used to sing that at school?
Yeah, we do it now. It's soccer. We do it still. It's our team song.
Oh, that's fucking unreal. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, the rugby one's different, but the soccer one was when I won the Saints.
What's the rugby one?
Oh, I forgot.
Did your time in first grade, not?
Well,
provide
my
you-
one season in year 8 where I was in the D's, or in interchangeable between the C's and D's.
a soft C grader, a strong D grader.
We didn't win that many games. We didn't win any games, so I'm pretty sure we just got tanked every game. So we
song
didn't sing the
escapes
song.
you.
we didn't sing the song that many times. It was pretty grim. It was pretty grim viewing. Yeah,
Okay,
but I won the Saints.
I want to say.
Great track. Weekend, any good?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Didn't do much on Friday. KB'd. Saturday, got pumped at soccer. Pulled my groin. Tough night. Tough day
Pulled the
out.
groin before or after soccer or during?
During.
Right.
Got subbed off twice. Filthy.
Oh.
And then didn't warm up out of spite when I went back on and got injured.
Mate, that says you're right.
Yeah, well, I was pissed off, dude.
Yeah. Don't sub off the star player, the import player. Ex-Premier League left back Cody Bryan doesn't get subbed off in 4th grade. Soccer. It doesn't happen.
Look, I'm happy.
Mate,
to
you're getting a transfer. out of
No,
that
I'm
club.
happy to share the load, and I get we have to make subs, bruh. But it's twice in one game. Come on.
Yeah, you can't be happy with that.
I wasn't happy. And then when I went off, I was sad.
Dummy spit. Absolute dummy spit.
Yeah, I took the boots off straight away.
Yeah.
And then rolled into the pub. And then ended up at the Impy, which was, it was going off, dude. You know the
Pumping?
Impy?
I've been there. Did you go to the gay club at the bottom?
I didn't. It cost money to get down, so I didn't
Oh,
go
I
down.
went. It was free when I went.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Apparently it was going off. Jared went down, but
Yeah, it's gone. I've been down there.
well, actually everyone was down there. It's just that we were with Jared, and then he ended up going down.
Oh.
But yeah, it just ended up being really late. It was like, oh, I'm gonna sneeze.
Do it.
Okay, no, I'm good. Fuck, my hay fever's been so bad lately. I don't know if I've mentioned it on this.
No, we never talked about that before.
But yeah, no, it was a good night.
I'm glad
And
you had
then
fun.
Sunday, watch the Tigers get fucking...
Go the Dogs. Go the Dogs.
I'm dead inside.
I was saying to Cody that they were very 2 steps forward, 1 step back at the start of this year. Like you could see the improvement. Got rid of their coach. Now they just look like Tigers from 2 years ago or last year. Just nothing.
The only thing that I'm kind of holding on to for this club, firstly, his name is Adam Dewey.
True. Yep.
Secondly,
The Lebanese Tom Trbojevic.
I've been, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I've been talked into by Tim Sheens. He's worked his magic words on me, and I'm on board with his plan.
His mitts.
So whether we can find the right coach to execute said plan is the next step.
Right.
Appy Coruscant, Isaiah Papali'i inbound. So
Excellent.
there's hope still, you know.
Yeah.
There's something to cling
Is this a
on
can
to.
of worms we should say for the back page?
Well, you know, we can unpack it at a later time, but
Yeah.
if you're gonna
If I'm gonna
get
stir
me
the-
into
if
it.
I'm gonna stir the pot, expect for a bit of chit chat.
yeah, exactly.
Fair enough.
But no, I didn't do anything too crazy. Good weekend nonetheless. Yeah, that's about it. That's all I have to say about that.
Sweet. Sounds fun.
Mm.
Mine was good. Thanks for asking. Yeah.
We already talked about yours.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your 4-day weekend.
Oh yeah, it was fun. Yeah, it was great.
Did anything of note happen? I feel like I
Did
should be
anything of note happen?
like. Did anything outside of the norm happen? I feel like I need to take more of a mental note of like what happens on a night out to like, you know.
My brain is cycling to try and figure out if anything crazy happened.
We'll go with I assume not.
I'm just gonna say no because I'm not sure. I'm very unsure.
Should we love and hate?
I was thinking, should we Barfly's bracket first?
We can Barfly's bracket.
Let's give him a bit of bracket action.
All the people love bracket action.
Yeah.
The results from the quarterfinals are in, ladies and gentlemen. I wouldn't say there was any upsets, but we'll go through them. Matchup 1, TikTok fame, knocked off by Hinge Girls. 59 to
Pretty
41.
comfortable win, might I add.
Comfortable win.
Surprisingly comfortable. Hinge Girls smoky.
Well, they've
Question
snuck
mark?
into the top 4.
Yeah.
I don't know how they've pulled that off.
They had an easy run.
They had an easy run. The Pub Roaches nixed the Indian Kebab. Only just. 53 to 47. Will their luck run out? Will the integrity of the pod stand up at some point?
We'd hope so.
I feel like majority of their voters actually don't listen to the pod.
No. I feel like, then Cheeky the Pigeon, if you're a real fan, you would have voted for him.
Well, people aren't voting for the integrity of the pod, and
No.
it shows.
It shows.
Pub Roaches through to the top 4. The Black Man
Smoked.
just tips the adult hot chocolate. 52 to 48.
I was surprised.
I was too.
I think I know who the black man is now, by the way.
Okay, you tell me off camera.
Yeah.
And Night Guy smokes Zander at Vic on the Park, rightfully so.
Thank goodness.
You could say one in the same.
Pretty, yeah, they're very similar.
Like they're maybe an hour apart, if you know what I mean.
Well, they were influencing each other.
Sure.
Like they were definitely there. They were both there on that night. They were present.
So I'll put the matchups on the Insta, but it will be Hinge Girls versus the Pub Roaches, and the Black Man versus Night Guy, which is probably
That's a tasty little matchup.
That's a matchup.
That's a tasty little matchup.
That's
that
a
one.
matchup. It would be unreal to see Hinge Girls do the big lift and dunk on the Barflies on the Pub Roaches podcast. Like I'm sure they have, many
In
a time
previous
before.
times, yeah. Mate,
No shots.
No, well, a little bit. I would just love to see Night Guy dunk on the Pub Roaches.
We've got to back Night Guy to the hill here, don't we?
Yeah, I'm backing Night Guy all the way in. He's my favourite.
Yeah, he's my favourite too.
Yeah.
After Stingray Kid, he's my favourite.
Yeah, Stingray Kid. Yeah.
You didn't like Stingray Kid.
Stingray Kid, I was impartial to Stingray Kid.
I know you were. It surprised me.
Mate, we're still angry. There's still tension about it. There's still tension about it. That happened 4 weeks ago.
Yeah. Well, look, he was...
We told you it was tough. We told you it was hard for us to decide these champions. And it shows. We care.
We do care. So that's that. I'll put that up on the Barfly story. As you're listening to this, it's probably up right now.
Yeah.
The pod will go up on Thursday, as will the bracket. So
Keep your eyes peeled and your fingers ready.
yeah.
Love and hate. Here we go. Do you want to go first?
No, late on me.
Okay, I'll go first. My love this week, when you have that day off, when you've been working a couple big days back to back, etc., you got that day off coming up, you've got nothing on in the morning, schedule is clear, and you lock in for that big 10-hour plus sleep, like that big boy. Blinds down, cave mode operated, like no light getting in, and you just switch off, gone. I love that. I did it on Monday morning, and it was fantastic. Oh, no, Tuesday morning, sorry, and it was fantastic.
Have you got your work schedule set up so that you afforded that just after the weekend?
Well, that's usually what Monday's offer for.
I'm thinking I've got in the works a little physio appointment for Monday morning.
Oh, methinks I'm going to schedule a little something.
A little physio appointment after the Origin.
Smart.
Yeah, and it's going to go from like 9 a.m. till like 11. Long appointment.
Yeah. Or he actually doesn't know when he can get me in. He just knows he's a flexible kind of scheduling calendar.
Yeah. He's a really like top physio in the area.
Yeah.
So like, yeah.
It's really hard to get in. I'm sure you'll understand. I can't come in this Monday. Yeah, groin's really playing up to soccer on the weekend.
Really tight.
Oh, so sore. So sore. It's really going to impact the way that I make coffee if my groin's tight as well.
Well, you're on your feet all day, bro. Come on.
That's true.
Bit of respect.
Sorry. But yeah, lock me in for a big 10-hour.
I really and I really long for those days of working nights when you are afforded the
luxury
of a sleep in, because they come around more often than not, right? Like you at least have sort of 4 or 5 days where you don't have work in the morning, generally speaking.
True.
I miss that.
Yeah, I froth it. Usually, it's unreal. And then my hate this week is, okay, so this thing about house keys, my siblings do this all the time. It drives me crazy. Excuse me. So what they'll do is they'll get to the front door and they'll knock on the door, and so you'll be doing whatever at home and you have to come and open the door for them. And they're like, oh, do you not have keys? They're like, oh, no, they're just in my bag. I couldn't be bothered to get them out. It's like, okay, so I have to stop what I'm doing at home and come and open the door for you when you literally could have just reached into your bag, got your keys out, opened it. It does my head in. And every time they do it, I'm having words.
Well, you fall for it every time, bro.
Well, because someone knocks on the door, you're not going to not answer the door.
Well, surely you're on the suspicion that it might be them now.
Well, I do. And then now that, because I can see who it is on the side of the door, I'll say, no, you've got a key, and I'll just turn away and walk off
okay,
once I see it's
that's
them.
what you should do.
But at the start, I was like, what's going on? Where's your key? You know?
Well, you got it figured out now.
Well, I mean, it's just, come on. Have some respect. You know? It grinds my gears.
Well,
it's saying little, but it grinds my gears.
I used to do that.
Oh, man.
I would never do it anymore, but I remember in high school I used to do it.
It drives me absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, why does your key not work? Oh, it does. Oh, sweet. Oh, so you want to use it then? Yeah, sweet. No worries. Pretty, nitpicky stuff, but
well, it's
still annoying.
It's
my hate, all right? It's my hate. I can let it be that if I want it to be.
No one said anything, dude. Relax.
Yeah, that's right. On the back foot again. Thanks for coming.
My love this week, not to just jump back into sport again, but there's a little podcast floating around at the moment called Stories of Origin, and on the the eve of, well, not the eve, but with Game 2 on the horizon, I've been absolutely pumping Origin content straight into my blood, straight into my arteries. It just really gets me in the mood hearing the greats of our game talk about other greats of our game and the greatest spectacle of rugby league. And I would implore anyone, Jared asked me the other day, he was like, don't you think Cameron Smith is the greatest of all time? And I'm like, yeah, I do, but that's not my own opinion. That's what everyone says. And it's like, don't listen to me. Go and listen to all the greats of our game say it. You know what I mean? It's like you hear Joey Johns and Wally Lewis say Cameron Smith's the greatest of all time. You're like, Okay.
Okay.
He's the greatest. And Cameron Smith is a hard player to understand why he's the greatest because, like...
I get why people would regard him as the greatest. He's just not mine, personally.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm okay with people saying it. I just, personally, I think Greg Inglis,
yeah.
which you find repulsive.
So, like, the 20th best player of all time.
No, he's the best, mate. The bloke's a fucking machine.
But, yeah, it's fucking unreal. You would actually really like. Jokes aside, you should listen to it.
Yeah, you were talking it up.
It's
I'm
talking about Joey in 05. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, came back, hadn't played, or played one game on Sunday night. They called him on Monday Arvo into camp. He played on Wednesday and played the greatest rugby league game of all time, arguably.
Jordan-esque performance.
They went on to win the series. I heard a really interesting story. Again, a bit back pagey, but, bear with me here. Andrew Johns played, I don't know what series it was. It might have been 02 or 03. But because he was, and this is part of what makes him such a great player, but because he was such a good defender, in D, he would defend at hooker, and then in attack, he would go back to halfback.
Really?
Which is just like...
That's crazy.
Fucking incredible. Like,
that's the thing. We never really got to see him.
I know, it
at
sucks,
like
right?
Peak of the power, at peak of his powers.
Imagine watching Joey run out on Sunday night first, like as captain.
Yeah.
You'd be like, we're going
to win.
We're going to win.
Well, didn't he almost play for the Wallabies at one point? Like
I don't know.
Almost got.
I don't think so.
I think he got tempted to play in the World Cup in Australia.
Sounds Mayo-y.
No, I think it's. I've heard him talk about it before.
Well, I'm gonna need a source from this.
Okay, I'll come back to it. I heard it on a radio interview.
He's from the Hunter, mate. Like, surely they bleed rugby.
Yeah,
league,
but playing for the Wallabies is
Money?
a pretty big thing.
Yeah, I suppose at that time, early 2000s.
Yeah, like that was rugby union's not really quite hit the same heights, but at that time it was to play for the Wallabies was huge. It was massive.
I heard another thing as well, just quickly before we move on, about Joey, which I thought was really interesting. There was a game, I think it was when Phil Gould was still coaching the Blues, and he was like, this is when Darren Lockyer was also at the peak of his powers. He must have been playing fullback because they were talking about Lockyer like sort of roaming the field. And Gus had Joey just man mark Darren Lockyer.
The whole game.
So what he would do is Joey would just sit behind the defensive line and just like follow him around and just like absolutely mark him out of the game, which is like totally not a plausible defensive tactic in the modern game, but
worked.
it somehow worked in this one-off occasion. And apparently there's a photo where Joey's just like standing behind the line.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool though. Hey,
Yeah, that's sick.
definitely worth a listen.
Fuck, what a... Yeah, that's mad.
And it's also like, it really just gets me going hearing people talk about like Wally Lewis and Artie Bateson and all
Bit
that
of
stuff.
the history of the game.
Because like, we'll never be able to like fathom that. We'll never understand how good Wally Lewis was,
No.
We just won't. We can't. We can't.
I wonder what those players would be like now if they played.
That's what I'm saying, but they say... Because my first thought is like, there's no way they'd be able to compete.
But also, they would come through now with the modern technology.
Exactly.
And that, so they probably would.
Yeah, and you hear like, I've heard Sterlo say it, like someone was like, would Wally Lewis be able to compete in today's game? And Sterlo was like 100%.
Yeah, 100%. The guy was just a beast.
Yeah. He's the king.
Yeah.
He's in like the top 4 greatest players of all time, I think.
That's unreal. Fuck. I
Like
should listen to
16
this.
slots ahead of GI.
Shut up, idiot. No,
That's
that's...
GI's better than Wally Lewis.
Mate,
Come
GI...
on. And
mate.
Joey.
GI is just unstoppable, though. Like... let's not get into it because we've already talked about it before in an episode.
That's sweet. 5th best player in that Queensland team. That's all good.
Yeah, get out of it. GI gave me more nightmares than anyone else in that team. 100%. They literally just had to like... New South Wales changed the centre every year to try and mark him.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did,
It was
mate.
J-Moz every year.
No, it wasn't, mate. It was
Who
Bo
was it?
Scott. It was Jared Hayne. It was Tamana Tahu. They had every bloke who could play centre play centre. No one could stop the bloke.
And I'm not denying he's a freak.
J-Moz got close.
J-Moz got him.
J-Moz got him a few times, but they didn't win, did they?
No, Grant, I agree with you. Like, greatest athlete of all time. Greatest rugby league athlete we've seen. Not the greatest player.
Anyway,
It's by the by. We'll leave it.
It's
A lot
vis-a-vis.
of blow-ups.
Yeah, all right, mate. You're on the back foot a little bit there.
I was on the back foot.
Yep. What's your hate this week?
My hate this week is my fucking back, dude. I'm off it. Seriously, like, I mean, I get it. I do it to myself, working on your feet. Like, I'm not a chippy. Cry me a river, Cody. Like, I imagine their backs would be way worse than mine.
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
it's just, mate, it's all at sea at the moment. It's all at sea. It's like, sometimes your back's bad and it sort of comes good.
Well, what shoes do you wear when you're at work?
Or with Docs.
See, that's probably why. You got to wear like trainers or something.
Docs are gun.
With good support.
Nah, they're too slippery in the kitchen because the kitchen's really like, it's literally like being on ice skates.
I thought you'd wear your
Salomons.
Salomons, mate.
No, they're too slippery.
Good support.
Too slippery.
Cap. I wear trainers and I don't have a problem.
And also, like, I find with Docs, like, your legs don't get as sore throughout the day, at least for me.
Yeah,
but
but
I know what you mean. Like,
you're not getting the same support, maybe.
I know, but I'm feeling better throughout the day,
Right. Maybe you just need to get back into the gym.
Busy man, mate.
Mm-hmm.
These ring lights don't,
Pay for themselves.
don't buy themselves, mate.
That's
You know
true.
what I mean?
Good set of pipes doesn't get you a ring light, does it?
No, exactly right. Yeah, exactly right. But yeah, dude.
Back's playing tricks.
Well,
Big tricks have been played.
And I'll tell you what, I'll be playing tricks Monday morning.
Oh, yeah.
Big tricks.
Especially when you start, cartwheeling and backflipping when New South Wales win 40-0.
We'll get into it.
We'll get in that. Okay, I've got a bit of trivia for us this week. Bit of barflies, Nat Geo, bit of pub trivia, if you will.
Oh, this is pub trivia this week, not Nat Geo.
Well, I'm
Venn
going
diagram.
to mix it up. I'm going to mix it up for you, the frequent flyer, the listener. This week, we've changed from aquatic theme, which it has been the last 2 or 3 weeks. And in, the recent rise of the Kate Bush running up, was that called? Running up that hill?
Running up the hill?
You know the one I'm talking about from Stranger Things?
Yeah.
Yeah, that song. Was it? Running Up That Hill.
Oh, it is called
That's
Running
the
Up that hill.
That's recent rise up the charts around the world on Spotify. It's kind of like astonishing the fact that a song in the 80s that has a song in the 80s, sorry, from one episode of TV where it's been used in one scene has now.
Isn't it in every episode?
No,
I've only watched one episode.
It's in one scene in particular that it's in, and it's now back in the top. Well, at one point it was the top 3 in the US charts, UK charts. I think it was even number 2 in Australia at one point, and on Spotify, it was in the top 5.
I think that's happening with like songs through TikTok as well. Like
Definitely.
older songs are finding popularity again,
Yeah.
which drives them back into the mainstream charts. I don't know how like what would you call them? The Billboard charts.
Well, it's good
I don't
that
know.
you say that actually, because that's what my first fact's about.
Okay, go on.
Yeah. So, Billboard music charts is the topic this week. I'm glad you said it. That was a great segue into the first one.
Shout out Tanner.
Shout out. So the way that the data gets used, and the way that a lot of these kind of alternative songs gets found, was in 1991. The Billboard system adopted this new way of gaining music sale data. It's called SoundScan or MRC data. For recording music sales, and what it did is, instead of just certain genres that they were selecting to gauge music sales, it was actually opened it up for whole different types of music to come in, like it was all music sales, not selected, and that alternate kind of bands or alternate rock and alternative music, sorry, came into the mainstream, such as, Nirvana and Metallica. They're 2 good examples.
How did they identify these bands? I didn't get it. Say it again.
So the way that they tracked and recorded music sales in, to coincide with the Billboard charts, they changed it. Because before the Billboard would just call up stores and ask about the record sales. So it wasn't accurate. Like, it was error prone.
Yeah.
And then they changed it to collecting data properly, and then they noticed like different bands were actually popular, and it made them rise. It gave them an avenue to rise into mainstream.
Do you know how they did that?
What do you mean? Like how did the data collection work?
Yeah. Like what did they base it off? Do you know? If they weren't basing it off sales.
No, they were. They were basing it off sale numbers.
Okay, they were just doing it more officially than like calling up the local guy.
Yeah,
and being like,
it was legitimate collecting of data.
Gotcha.
Instead of how they're doing it before.
Okay.
Like it actually was correct.
Accurate. It got some funding, perhaps.
Probably. I didn't kind of research into how it was collected. I just kind of looked up the sound scan thing.
Sure.
I thought it was quite interesting though. So like pretty much they just got in a whole new way collecting that information, and it opened up new opportunities, which is cool.
Vis-a-vis Nirvana.
Yeah, pretty cool. I like that one. Number 2. Okay, I got a couple. I'm just gonna say this isn't really like set facts. This is just kind of about the charts and where certain things are. So the Billboard charts, they've got the number 1 artist of all time set as the Beatles. Like that's who they recognize as the number 1. The number 1 song that has spent the most weeks as the number 1 spot, you actually wouldn't guess this. Lil Nas X and Billy Ray Cyrus with Old Town Road. They spent 19 weeks at the top spot.
Disgraceful.
How nuts is that?
It's bizarre.
The most diverse song in the world. Rap and country in one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Yeah. I know. That's crazy to me.
It's hard to compare in a sense because of the times that they were like... Because Little Nas X and Old Town Road would have got so much traction through different mediums as opposed to,
But still spent, still 19 weeks at number 1.
Crazy.
That's almost half a year. That's a long time. That is a really long time.
Yeah.
That kind of blew my mind. Another one that blew my mind a little bit, Blinding Lights by The Weeknd spent 90 weeks in the top 100. Spent almost 2 years as a top 100 song in the world. That's nuts.
The Weeknd.
The Weeknd was featured heavily in a lot of the stats that I was reading.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's really hitting the
Yeah, he's pretty heavy in there.
He's you know what I'm trying to say.
Especially that song. A lot of that was in there. There was a couple Post Malone in there. Taylor Swift was there was a few artists that's names repeatedly came up.
Dua?
No Dua.
No Dua.
No. I think Dua's big, but she's not as big as Taylor Swift was. Like Taylor Swift, Justin Bieber's in there a little bit as well.
Probably because they've just been around for such a prolonged period of time. And credit to them.
100% credit to them. And then...
people are still listening to Taylor Swift, aren't they?
Probably.
Didn't she release a new album recently?
She releases them all the time, I'm pretty sure. There's a lot. I'm not a Swiftie myself, not up to date with the happenings of the Taylor Swift sphere.
Realm.
But, good on her. She's making dollars, putting out tunes, getting on the charts.
Yeah, good for her, dude.
Say less. And then the last one, Elvis Presley has the most top 100 songs with 108 songs that have featured on the Billboard charts.
Elvis Presley have that much music?
He massive. And he's heavily featured as well in other... There's heaps of stats. If you want to have a look, literally just Google Billboard music stats.
Okay.
And there's so much. There's so many different category and criteria. It's actually very interesting to look at.
I would not have picked Elvis to have 20...
He has
108 songs.
The most songs.
That's let's say each album has 15 songs, which is a lot. That would be what? 10?
Yeah. Well,
Wait.
Well, this is the thing with Elvis, and especially with the new Elvis movie coming out. When I first listened to Elvis, I reckon I was in year 10 or year 11. The first time I kind of actually listened to Elvis music, and every song I was going through, I was going, "Oh, this song's great. This song's also great." I love his music. I reckon it's so good.
Well, he's kind of one of those. He's one of the artists, along with the Beatles,
timeless,
perhaps with Michael Jackson, that would be considered, pioneers of music.
Yeah,
in general.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm really keen to see the new movie as well.
Is there an? Oh yes.
I hope they don't fuck it up, but I don't like Tom Hanks though.
You don't like Tom Hanks?
Nah.
Why not?
Because he just tries to steal every movie that he's in. He just tries to be the main character all the time.
Is he not generally cast as the main character?
Yeah, but even when he's not, he tries to steal the movie the whole time.
What gives
and
you
he
that
just
vibe?
annoys me. He just does.
It sounds
and
like
he does it in interviews as well. You see him in an interview, and he's doing too much. I don't like him.
Okay.
I don't like him.
I don't know enough about it to comment on it.
And I don't know how he's a movie star as well. Have you looked at the bloke? How is he the biggest actor in the world?
This sounds personal.
Yeah, it's getting a bit personal actually.
Dude, he's Woody.
I just don't
and
like
he's
him.
Forrest Gump.
I don't like him.
Okay. Sure. I don't, again, like I said, I don't have anything against.
I reckon his movies are overrated.
You don't like
Apart
Forrest
from-
Gump?
Nah, overrated.
That's crazy talk.
Forrest Gump's overrated.
That is not overrated.
Yep. Big's overrated. Toy Story's not.
Toy Story.
Save It Private Ryan, apart from the start, overrated.
Saving Private Ryan's overrated.
I'm coming in with the hot takes, baby.
Wow.
Yep.
We need to get a movie expert on here.
Mate, I'm just calling it like I see it. Is what it is.
I'll take your
I'm sure some
opinion with a
people
grain of salt.
aren't going to be happy with that, but there's going to be some blow-ups.
Dude, can we get Lippy in the DMs?
Oh, mate, if someone wants to have a bit of lip, I'm here for it, all right?
Yeah, let's get personal.
Send a bit of fucking lip my way. Okay.
Who's Roy?
Oh, who's Roy? Good question. Who is Roy? Roy is a gardener. So, a couple of weeks ago, I was at home and I heard a knock on the door and I was like, oh, keys again. No, it was the gardener who I thought Mum had hired to do the hedges because we don't have a hedger. And I did the lawns and stuff, but wasn't able to.
Can only do so much.
Can only do so much with the tools I have. Okay. And I thought he had come to do our thing. He's like, oh, mate, all good to use the bins. And he's like, hell Aussie dude, like long blonde hair. He's like, yeah, mate. Yeah,
How old?
He would have been like 40, 35. And he was just hell Aussie. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to use your bins. That's sweet. I was like, yeah, mate, no worries, all good. Oh, legend. And, offered him a cup of coffee or tea like you do. I was like, what do you want that? And he's like, really? No, if it's not too much, I'm like, no, mate, it's instant coffee. Like, it's all right. I can get you one. He goes, oh, okay. Here's my keep cup. I was like, thanks. And then he goes,
Strapped with the key cup.
he's got keep cup gone.
That's very
There he is.
progressive of him. I love that.
Yeah. And then he goes, oh, what milk do you have? And I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure we just have normal or soy. And he's like, no almond? No, it's like, who's this bloke? And he's like, oh, I just can't have normal milk. I was like, no, mate, I don't have any almond milk, but do you just want black coffee? And he's like, oh, mate, you're a legend. What's your name? Like, my name's Zander. And he's like, oh, Zander. Okay, I never heard that name before. And I was like, yeah, thanks, mate. Whatever. Give him the coffee. A couple hours later, I just go outside to inspect the fine work that I thought he had done. He wasn't even doing our lawn. He was doing the one next door. It was the neighbours. I'd given him this great hospitality. He didn't even fucking hedge the front lawn, mate. What's going on?
He dropped you in broad daylight.
Oh, like next time he comes back, I'm like, I want $3 for that Makona mix I gave you. Give it back. That's precious. That's Makona gold, mate. You give me that back right now.
Dude, Roy the Gardener absolutely dunking on the Russell household.
It did me hard. I was like, I'm glad we have such a good bloke doing the gardening in our house. Nah, apparently not. He duped me.
Good from him, dude. Shout out, Roy.
Mate, imagine if I'd actually given him almond milk as well. Because that stuff's not cheap.
Dude, the goal on this bloke to go in, did he know you were the neighbour?
No, he had no idea. But he used our bins because the other ones must have been full.
But he was just coming over to use your bin. Like,
Yeah.
he knew he wasn't doing your lawns.
Yeah.
And then he was like...
And then he got
came
a free coffee. And then he wanted almond milk. Well, mate. I respect him. I respect the hustle from him, but I was, I felt a bit betrayed in a way.
Oh, as
I
you
thought
would.
he was doing. I thought he was going to do it for us, and he just didn't.
Well, it's similar to PDA Jake, where you kind of develop this bond.
We had a
before
rapport.
You build rapport, and you've simultaneously been crushed.
I felt a bit crushed. Maybe I don't know what was in the air with me and the relations with tradesmen, if you will. Next week at work, tidal surge rocks up half of Shelley Beach onto the front of work, onto the pavement, so we've got to get rid of it. Council workers come. We're helping them shovel all the sand away and whatnot. And, having a bit of chat with one of the workers, going, oh, mate, you getting these double rates as well? He's like, yeah, easy money. He's like, yeah, it's so easy. And this bloke's just hosing. He's just holding a hose and getting paid $55 an hour. I'm like, fucking mate, this guy's living he's literally smoking a dart in a no smoking area and hosing off a pavement with all these people in like active wear walking past and like looking at him funny. He's got his TNs, his Nike sweater on, and his high vis, and he's just going, mate, $60 an hour. This is breezy.
Dollars ticking.
Like literally the easiest money he'll ever learn. And I'm the schmuck. I'm brushing. I'm not even the council worker. He's like, I've got the hose and the broom in one hand. He goes, oh, give me the hose there, champion. I was like, fuck. Oh,
And you're like, yeah, mate, no worries.
yeah, no, of course. Here you go. And I tell you what, these
You're there
blokes,
brushing. He's like, come on, mate, back into it.
I got absolutely him and one of the other blokes. I got champed hard.
Really?
And then I got chiefed even harder.
Go on.
He wrecked me. He goes, oh, hey champ, we're actually a bacon egg roll short. Hey champion, yeah, you got that? And I was like, oh mate, you've actually killed me a little bit on the inside.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Thought we were mates. Don't worry about it. And then I'm walking past, and he goes, hey buddy, hey chief.
How old is this guy?
They were like, I don't know, probably like 40
Oh, okay.
or more. I get chiefed disgracefully hard as well. And I'm the schmuck. I turn around. I knew he was talking to me. I could see, because they got high vis on. I can see them.
Yeah. Oh, well, they're not camouflaged.
No, exactly. I can see them. And also they stick out like a sore thumb because they're both huge and they were just like standing in high vis. I go over. Oh, what's up? Yeah, chief, can you just go and get your boss froze? No worries, mate. Of course. You know, just you don't have to do that. You don't have to chief me.
But again, your hands are kind of tied when you got two hungry council workers.
Well, they shouldn't even be hungry. I did all the work. We did all the work for them. They were just hosing. They had the easy job. Mate, disgraceful. And I think champing is just back in the air, because that will make it 3 weeks in a row I've been disgustingly champed. This guy went, these plates, they can go here, right? Pause for dramatic effect. Champ.
When was that?
That was actually on Sunday.
You got champed on Sunday.
So
and when was the?
That was the Monday before.
Okay, excuse me. I need to plug my laptop in.
Mate, I'm on a roll at the moment.
Keep it rolling.
I'm on an absolute roll.
Wait, with getting champed?
Yeah. Is there something about me that just screams, disrespect me, please? You know? Please do not value me as a human.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. People have said that before, actually. It's actually, I've heard that. I've actually heard that.
How does that make you feel?
Oh, so good. So valued. Yeah, nah. Thoroughly enjoyed that one. Happens though. That's the dangers of working hospo.
Well, look, it does happen. And when you put yourself in the vulnerable position of customer service,
Yeah.
champing and chiefing kind of comes with the territory.
Buddy, you get buddy a lot. It's just, we don't mean to always talk about hospo, but,
It's a big part of our lives.
It's a big part of our lives and what we do.
Well, it's what makes us tick, and a lot of, dare I say it, my ideas come from it.
Right.
The Barflies podcast
True.
is built upon it.
That's true.
So-
The name itself.
Do you want to sit in frame?
No.
Okay, we're
So-
back. We just had a 40-minute intermission due to...
Well. Wait a goddamn minute. I gave him all this praise, Oh, head of tech, you've done such a great job. You've wheeled and dealed like a star. And
Deserved praise.
Issues, not even a full episode in.
Well, it's not with the new tech, it's with the old tech. It's the fucking laptop.
Laptop didn't turn off automatically before new tech.
That's true.
Did you cross-reference? Did you check these things?
I didn't record a whole podcast with the new setup alone in advance to check the tech issues.
Well, we're talking about extras. That's extras that are required.
What extras are you doing?
Mate, notes the day before.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Research. Heavy research into Nat Geo barflies.
Well, that would be extra extras if I was to test that out, because I've done my extras.
Nah, sorry, mate. I'm not. I just can't believe you just did that.
Okay, well, we're back.
We're back.
We say we back. We were gone for 1 second
Yeah.
in there.
In their ear, they were going for a second. For us, we just lost 30 minutes of our life trying to wait for this laptop to fire up again.
To be honest, not too dissimilar to what we do before, after the pod.
That's
and
true.
just in our general...
Just waste time. Pretty much just waste time. Slacking off. Standard.
One of the only things I'm good at.
Amen to that, brother.
But we're going to rip and tear on some back page.
Let's just get into the back. We don't need the notes.
We don't even need notes.
Fuck them. Fuck them. Don't need them.
Fuck the notes.
Okay, obviously, we'll just go real quick. Bit of rugby leg from the weekend. Tigers, rubbish. Dragons, top 8, going to win the premiership. All good. That's what's going to happen.
Cowboys with one of the great wins.
Yeah, great comeback. That was outstanding.
Cementing themselves as a real premiership contender.
That's a top team quality to do that.
Well, yeah.
Against a team that, everyone's expecting to be in the 8. Yeah, they're missing Turbo, but they're still a good team.
And they were up by 14 with 8 to go or something.
Yep.
Or 9 to
7 to go.
7.
Yeah. So, impressive stuff by the Cowboys. Up the boys. Penrith rolled the Warriors.
Just can I feel like we need to give the Cowboys a bit more limelight here because they're pushing.
Oh, well.
I think
They're the third
as
best team in the
we
comp.
discussed in our intermission, eerily similar to the 05 Tigers.
Todd Payton was in that team.
Expected to come bottom 4. Just outsiders, and look.
They're just playing with flair and fire, which is, what you need. They got hunger. It looks like they've got hunger when they play. They want it.
Which, what a turnaround from last year, right?
Yeah. Well, they started the year last year hot. They started really good, and then they went on a 10-game losing streak. They were a shout for the 8, and then they just went cold.
Tuolangi hot.
Tuolangi playing well.
Queensland debut this
and
week.
they don't even have Kyle Felt in the team at the moment either.
They don't need him.
No Felt.
Who's playing on the wing? Tahama?
Yeah, Hammer and Tuolangi.
Is Hammer better than Felt?
Nah.
You would never say.
Felt's the best winger in the comp after the Fox and Toto. Yeah, love their work. Dearden playing like Lockyer. Drinkwater playing like an animal.
Well, a Billy Slater prodigy, Scott Drinkwater.
Showing up.
And Taumalolo playing career best footy.
Yeah, he's back. People saying they need to offload Tamalolo at the top of the start of the year.
Dribble.
Stop that. Stop it. Good to see them doing well. Broncos could care less for.
You don't like the Broncos? I'm happy to see the Broncos ripping.
No, I've never liked the Broncos.
But they've got such...
Even when they were bad or good, I've never liked them.
I like their team, though.
Couldn't care.
They're still kind of harmless. I don't think they're going to do anything without a 6, but...
Couldn't care for them, if I'm being perfectly honest.
And they don't even really have a fullback at the moment either. Like, Tamari Martin's playing there.
Well, you'd imagine when Tessie New comes back, Tamari Martin will go to 6. Tessie New will go back to 1.
True.
I could see that happening.
Well, Cobbo, I feel like, is their long-term one.
But Man is pretty good.
He's killing it.
He's killing it right now.
Mate,
So
they
maybe...
got some young guns up in Brizzy.
Yeah, they definitely
moment.
do. Cobbo playing great footy. Even Stags loves that 6 jersey. There's always talk of him taking it up as well.
Won't happen, mate. He can't even play centre.
Yeah.
That was fucking pretty rogue statement
What?
that he can't play centre.
Yeah.
Just off him for playing Origin when he
It's a
shouldn't have.
huge call. Other teams, not much to cover. Titans and Knights showed something. They're versing each other this weekend.
Sling.
Poo Slinger, overs.
Do you reckon sometimes those games just...
Actually, if
KP's not playing...
if KP's not playing, unders. If he's playing, overs.
If KP's not playing, Titans 13 plus,
Could be.
they're due.
Could be.
They're so due.
They're more due than the Knights, I would say.
I feel like we've spoken about it before, but is letting Jamal Fogarty go the biggest bedsheet of the season?
That's just silly.
To now re-sign Kieran Foran? Or to sign Kieran Foran?
Yeah, it's just silly. Just real silly stuff.
Dribbly.
I can see no logic behind that.
No, me either. Me either.
And Canberra are all the benefit for having him.
And I don't know, dude. Holbrook's days have got to be numbered, don't they?
Well, I mean, you go from the top 8 and now you're at the spoon. Question's got to be asked.
With that team.
And it's not a
It's not a bad team by
not
any
a
stretch.
bad team at all. I mean, and yeah, David Fifita's been injured a lot, but like their team's still gone. But Bo Fermor is a beast. The Fermusi. My favourite. Favourite Queensland player after Ruben Cotter.
Has he played for Queensland, Fermor?
No, he's in the squad this year. He's in the extended squad.
He'll sniff around for a bench spot over the next few years.
Oh, he'll be around. Yeah, playing like a god. Other than that, not much to report in the league world.
I don't think too much
Pappy's
happened
back
last
next
week.
week.
Is he? Woo.
He got COVID. That's
I
why
love
he was
Pappy,
out.
eh?
You frothy.
I don't think we'd be good mates, but I love him as a player.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Why wouldn't you get along?
He just doesn't seem like he gets on the beers. Not that that's the be all and end all of a friendship, but you know,
You don't reckon he'd
if
have
you're
a
not
good chat?
pub compatible, I don't think.
That's fair.
Did the guy post quotes on his Instagram story?
Yeah, no, fair enough. That's a
Like
good
he can
point.
play rugby league, but I just don't think we'll see eye to eye in that
Yeah,
sense.
you don't want a TED talk while you're at the pub.
No,
No,
exactly.
That's fair enough. That's a good point.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
Like
Are they like Drake quotes that he puts up, or are they?
no, they're like
motivational
athlete quotes. Yeah, motivational quotes. Like outworking your opponent of the likes. Like I feel like me and Harry Grant would be good mates.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. I feel that's fair.
Seems like we'd be a scallywag.
Yeah, I think that's a fair call.
If you were going to be best mates with one person in the NRL, who do you reckon your best mate would be?
Jeez, I reckon Victor Radley would be pretty fun.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Or KP.
No, I reckon KV would be a bit cringy.
Nah,
Yeah, I
I
reckon?
don't. I don't. I reckon KP or Victor Radley would be a good time.
I don't reckon KV gets on the beers as much either.
Well, like I
what about like D-bags?
yeah, true. Victor. I'm going to stick with Victor Radley. Actually, I'm going to stick with Victor.
I'm drawn to dribblers,
Yeah,
but I don't know. You can't gauge on who's a dribbler. Tommy Turbo seems like a bit of a dribbler.
yeah. Jake Javojevic would be. He'd be great.
He'd be a good mate, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he'd be a great mate. Okay, let's move on from this kind of dribble chit chat.
Sorry, I get lost.
Yeah, happens to the best of us. Talk Origin. Origin's on Sunday. Rep round also all Sunday. I mean, all this weekend too.
How do you feel about that?
I like it. I quite like it. I like the rep round. I encourage it.
Okay.
Encourage it being on. Love seeing the Tongan team. Okay, looking at that Tonga team, it is all X Factor and
Who-
all big name players.
Their back five's unreal. Who's their 6 and 7 though?
Amone and get the phone out.
I want to say like Lola here, but
Let me have a look. Malta is versing Lebanon as well. That's a matchup for the
Alex
ages.
12 not playing, unfortunately.
Okay. Katoni Staggs is playing 6, Amone 7. Okay, this is the forwards for the Tongan team. Okay. Fanua Blake, Havili at 9, Takiao at 10, Tupanua at 11, Kaloa Matangi at 12, Jason Tamalolo at 13. So big boys already. And then you just throw in Mo Fotuaika, and then you throw in Tavita to Tola and
Isn't Humole on the bench?
Olakawatu
My word.
and Sonny Luke. And then, yeah, you got Joel Fangawi also just sniffing around there as the 18th man. Not too shabby of a team, that is.
You'd think that the Kiwi spine edges them this game, but there almost just could be too much
Power.
like raw power.
Backline. Kalua, fullback. Tupalotu at 2. Penasini at 3. Sully at 4. Sione Katoa at 5. Then Staggs in a moment. It's just running. It's just...
Yeah.
Oh, that team gets me up and about. I
can't-
cannot wait for that. I'm going to be watching that game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
With intensity.
When's that? Saturday night?
Saturday, 3 o'clock.
3 p.m.
Yep.
Oh, I'm playing at 1 this week, so I'll be able to...
You'll get home for that.
I'll get home for that.
Yeah, I'll be eyes glued
Order
to
the
that
pub.
game. Watch that one. And the New Zealand team, although we didn't really talk about it there, also stacked.
Well, a spine of Joey Manu, D-Bags, Jerome Hughes,
And the Smith.
and the Cheese, with Kieran Foran at 14.
And who's playing 13 for them? Let me check. 13. Joseph Tapine, who has been on fire. Probably the best formed forward of
Yeah.
the last 5 weeks.
Yep.
He threw a 3-man cutout ball for a try assist in the Raiders game.
Did he?
Or 2-man, sorry, cutout. Yeah. And then made like a last ditch effort save on the try line and got out of goals. Like
Who did they play?
the Knights.
I don't think I watched those highlights. I must have missed them.
Mate, insane. Even the New Zealand team, to be fair, like
The New Zealand teams,
like
it's more
even
insane.
Look
at the forwards. Kenny Bromwich, Papali'i in the back row with Fisher Harris, Brandon Smith, and Jesse Bromwich in the front row.
I dare say, although they don't, there's maybe not as much. No, that's not really fair. I was going to say there's not as much on the line, but I feel like that's not fair because when you play for your country, you're playing for your country. But, you know, since we're not New Zealanders or Tongans, we're more vested in the New South Wales game. But I am so excited to watch this game.
I'm pumped.
You know, like that is going to be
That's more like
unreal.
where Queensland and New South Wales is the elite of the elite. That is just the elite of almost raw, just natural rugby league. Like they're all just pure rugby league thoroughbreds.
Yeah.
And you could, if you put like the Indigenous All-Stars in with them as well, you know, like how all the Indigenous rugby league players are just genetically freakish.
Yeah.
Same with the New Zealanders and same with the Tongans.
They're just just going to be unreal to watch. I cannot wait. There'll be some massive hits, some good tries. I'm going to overs in that game for sure.
It's cool how like each team has its own sort of like style. Like you'd say the New Zealand team are very like a flair, like a flary team. Whether that stems from, you know, the Benji Marshall era, I don't know, or if they're just naturally like that. The Tongan team is like a very power-driven team, and then the Indigenous team kind of strike me as just a very sort of fit, off-the-cuff, ball will bounce their way all the time. Eyes up. You know what I mean?
Electric. I would say electric is a good term.
Electric, yeah, for sure. Like if an Indigenous player does a grubber to himself, he's getting it back every time.
Every time.
Every single time.
Every time. Yeah. They just play good footy. It's just good to watch.
Who's your favourite out of the three of those teams? New Zealand, Tonga, and the Indigenous All-Stars. They should be. It's hard because they should be a team in that. You know what I mean?
It's kind. Oh. You know what? I'm going that Tongan team. I cannot wait to see them play. Yeah,
I'd go the Indigenous boys.
No, I cannot wait to see that Tongan team play. That's going to be unreal.
Yeah,
I cannot wait.
I
actually can't wait. It's going to be so good. And then of course Origin Sunday night. You know, team changes in place. Freddie's made a couple tweaks to the lineup.
5?
Yeah, I think so. 5.
I think there's 8 Penrith players in the starting 13, obviously including Matt Burton. Not that was obvious, but I'm including Matt Burton because, you know, ex-Penrith player won a comp. He could slot back into that team this week. No one would notice.
No, you wouldn't even bat an eye.
So I'm confident. I was not confident last game.
Well, the team they've got is way better than the team in game 1.
And
makes more sense.
Really off-brand for me, and I've said it on here before, but Angus Crichton is one of my favourite players in the comp. He just strikes me as a real just
footy player.
True footy player. I said true instead of through and through, but you know what I mean. And having him come off the bench, dude, like if you need a little bit of just tidying up in the middle, like let's go out there. We're up by 6 and it's getting messy.
Well, I mean, he's one
Angus
of the
Crichton out there.
Top 3, top 5 back rows in the comp.
Yeah. Top 3. I'd say top 3.
You know, him not in the team in the first place was crazy talk, but anyway. Jakey Travojevic is back. Thank goodness.
I don't get the slander that he gets online, Jake Trebojevic. And I shouldn't read comments from dribblers, but he gets a lot of stick.
It's because, well, like, he's just efficient.
He's an old school forward and people don't appreciate that.
He just makes tackles, no errors. He's just there. He's not going to let you down. You know, he's got a bit of ball playing there. He plays with a lot of heart. Mate, when's the bloke come off the pitch and you've not seen like blood coming out of his mouth or something? Like every time he does a post-match interview, he's bleeding.
Wouldn't you like there needs to be a term for like when you look over at someone in the dressing room and they're sitting there and you're like, all right, I'm in good hands. Because I feel like Jake's one of those players. Imagine looking over and seeing Jake and Isaiah Yeo sitting next to each other. You'd be like...
That's a steady pair of hands.
will be good.
Yeah.
Like, will be sweet.
Mm.
It just feels right. It feels right that
Him
they're
being
there.
in the team.
100%.
I kind of like him starting and then Paulo coming on.
I
like that.
couldn't agree more.
I just find what I find a bit interesting is the choice of Damien Cook playing 14. I don't hate Appy at 9. Like, I like Appy playing 9. But Damien Cook at 14, it feels like Appy and him, you know, kind of similar in a lot of ways. And I can see how Hunt and Grant work on the field at the same time, but I just don't know how Appy and Cook are going to go on the field if they're on at the same time. And also, to an extent of this, New South Wales rarely get their 14th man right. Rarely.
That's true.
Like, in terms of game involvement. So I'm just curious as to what the plan is, because Queensland have quite often got it right. You know, Ponga coming on.
They do.
You know, even Slater when he was coming into the team, like he played 14 when he started.
Cronk, Cherry Evans all came through the 14.
You know, a lot of these players, when New South Wales, especially the last 10 years, you know, you got Tyrone Peachy playing 14 at one point there. You know, and even when they bring Whiten on sometimes, like, they don't have as much of a plan.
No.
I'm just struggling to see what's going to happen there.
Well, my theory here, and I almost feel like it's the perfect way to combat everything you're saying, that this is more of this will be a direct swap, I believe. If Cook comes on, Appy will go off. And that,
Right.
I think Cook's perhaps struggling a little bit at club level, as Souths are, naturally.
I think South is struggling. I think
I know, I agree. And as a result,
he's not as. I think he's been playing pretty well.
he's been playing all right, but his form isn't like as good as it has been in the past. Like, he's
True.
obviously been naturally a little bit down on confidence when his team's not winning. So I think him coming off the bench, like, Appy's going to take most of the brunt out there, especially in D.
Yeah.
And if we bring Cook on with, like, I don't know, 10 to go in the first half, 15 to go, a direct swap, which I think is what it will be, it'll just allow him to, like, not think as much, and he'll just be able to play literally eyes up footy. Like,
True.
literally just be able to scoot out of dummy half, run it tied forwards.
Play his game.
All he has to do is, like, you know, just play his game, mate.
Pick it up and shovel.
Just don't think about it too much.
Although I didn't think he should start centres, and I was kind of saying Talakai shouldn't be in the team off the bench. However, I like it. I like him off the bench.
I don't know how I feel about this. I could see
I like it.
my feeling about Talakai off the bench is it will be similar to Stags. It's almost like it feels a little bit premature, and I'm just not sure how his impact is going to be managed on this game.
Yes and no. I feel like his role just to be like just you're on for 30 minutes of the game. You're just working that whole time. Get your hands on the ball and run. You know, because he's destructive. You know, I can't wait. He kind of his destructiveness sometimes gives off, like, you know, when David Fafita takes those runs and
100%.
he'll take 6 people with him.
100%.
It's kind of that kind of thought.
Well, he's a forward playing out wide. And he's
he won't
quick.
be. He'll be playing back row, you'd imagine, if
Yeah,
he
yeah.
comes on.
Yeah, sure.
Or maybe
sure.
even
But
through the middle.
Yeah, he's still right wide.
Yeah.
Forward. I'm excited to see him nonetheless.
Yeah.
He could easily break the game open. It's the kind of player he is,
Absolutely. You know? And, you know, then Nico again, 18th man. But the thing is, if Luai or someone gets injured, or Cleary, just for example, I can see Burt. Like,
Burton will go to 6 and Talakai go to 7.
yeah, I can see them doing that before they put Nico Hines on. Even if it's a concussion.
Now that I'm thinking about it, that makes the Crichton thing make way more sense from game one. Because if a half goes down, Whiten goes into the halves or fullback, and then Crichton just comes on. I don't know how we didn't think of that before. Was that discussed? Because that's
Probably.
exactly the same as Burton being in the centres.
But we never had an issue with Whiten.
No, we didn't, but we were struggling to understand Crichton being on the bench, but it makes a little bit more sense to me now. It's more to cover injuries rather than make an impact.
But at the same time, Crichton... No, he did cover it, because at the same time, why wouldn't Crichton be starting over Stags? 'Cause
Yeah,
he's
that
got
was
more
true.
big game experience.
True.
And he's probably a better regarded centre than Stags. Both of them being very good.
Yeah.
But
Sorry.
Crichton probably a
Yeah.
bit more established.
No, you're right. We've worked through this. I just forgot.
Queensland flying under the radar. This is all pressure on New South Wales. This game, it's New South Wales' game to lose, and the game hasn't already started. They're not even leading the series.
How are they favourites? They're favourites again.
To be fair,
How did Queensland do this?
but you're looking at that team, you're like, you just think they're gonna show up,
They have to.
and I can't see Nathan Cleary, Luai, and Yo being out of sync in a big game again.
Well, they've just got 2 more Penrith players out on the field with them now, and Liam Martin and Appy. So, and Burton, make it 3.
Yeah, I think.
Wait, is Stephen Crichton starting?
Yep.
4. So they got 4 extra Penrith players out there.
Okay. Prediction for game 2. What do you reckon? Score? Anything like that?
New South Wales 1-12. Just. Like by 2 points or by 4 points or something.
I'm going New South Wales 13 plus. I'm going overs.
It's very New South Wales of you to say that.
Yeah, overs 13 plus. Paulo anytime try scorer. And I'm going Matt Burton anytime try scorer as well. You can take that to the bank.
All right, I'll go New South Wales 1-12 unders into. I like Burton too. I do. He's an Origin player.
Actually, I'm going to change. That. Sorry, not from overs to unders because it'll probably be like 36, and I don't think Queensland are going to score more than 2 tries this game. I said it. I reckon New South Wales will probably score.
I don't reckon.
Score 4
Yeah,
at
actually,
least.
could be. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll be like 18-6 or something, or 20-6.
No, I reckon it'll be like 20 something to 10.
It's pretty much the same.
New South Wales.
You
New
just
South
said
Wales
no
coming
and said
up.
like the same score.
Yeah, I mean like 26 to 10, like 16.
So 1
point
try
lead.
each more. I said 20-6. It's a 14 point.
Oh, did
lead.
you say that?
22-6.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you properly. My bad.
What do you think I said?
20 to 6.
That's
That's
what-
kind of irrelevant now. We've probably lost them.
Well, yeah, I've like.
Okay, all right, scratch that.
I've said mine.
Okay, so have I.
You're right. You got lost in
Yeah,
the sauce
mate.
a little bit there.
Mate,
eh?
that
Intermission.
intermission's ruined me. It's wrecked me.
Yeah, well, you know what I just thought as well?
What?
New camera.
Yeah.
We don't have a time limit anymore.
We can just go.
We can just go. I was like, oh, we have to wrap up soon. It's been an hour 10. No, we don't.
We'll still aim for an hour.
Yeah.
Ish. But, mate, if we sneak an hour 30 in there, don't blame us, right? Don't hate the player, hate the game. Song, you got anything else to add? Are you good?
What are you doing for the Origin?
Not entirely sure yet. I think I'm going to be watching it in Manly. I'm working Sunday night or Sunday arvo, and then hopefully I'll be done in time for the game.
8 o'clock kickoff? Late, surely.
Yeah.
Too late for a Sunday.
Yeah, I heard.
I hate the Sunday game.
But Perth, that's like 5 p.m. Perth time or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'd be like what? Erskine time? Like 7?
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, 9 o'clock Northern Beaches time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Does Northern Beaches have its own time zone?
Yeah, it's pretty far away.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Wrapped up. Music this week, following on from what we were talking about before. We're going Trouble by Elvis Presley. Great track.
Oh, I'm going to listen to it. I actually don't know it.
Great song.
No, not by name anyway.
You'll probably know it when you hear it. This is Barflies Podcast, episode 42.
Thanks for
listening. Thanks for sticking us through that intermission, that break in the middle. Bit scat, head of tech, is what it is. Thanks for listening.
And let us know what you think about the new setup. Which, to be honest, they probably didn't even notice.
No. Well, they don't look in the direction we're looking. They would have no clue.
No, but there's no camera cuts anymore.
That's true.
The lighting should, in theory, be better.
That's true. And look, and if you got something lippy to say to me, if I don't like Tom Hanks, let me know.
Questions next week. Let's do questions next week. I really want to bring them back.
Bring it back.
Bring the questions back.
Bring the questions back and vote in the bracket.
Okay.
You heard that here.
See ya.
See
We
you
done?
later. Yeah, that's it. Call
Okay.
it.
Bye.
Call it. Bye.